My name is Carlos Walker. This is Art and Hustle Black Authors Matter, and today I got Mr. Marcel Griffin with me. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, brother. I appreciate it, man. Blessed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Blessed to see you another day, for sure, for sure.
Okay. So, if you will, share a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I am Marcel Griffin. Marcel is Marcel, is that's the shortest version. And I am a now globally published author. As long as you got Amazon, you can get my book anywhere. You feel me? Go by the Wealth Mentor. And I pretty much am trying to move the culture forward. As the Wealth Mentor, my goal is to build and create a space for a million wealthy mentees, right? And to change, not only my family's money story, but the rest of our community's money story. And that doesn't happen overnight. A lot of people think that the wealth transformation is a lottery ticket that it needs to happen overnight. No, it's just a few steps and changes in your financial mindset, which is why I wrote the book A Trade I Made, because it's really simple. Like I said, it's these day-to-day things that are going to turn you into a wealthy person.
So, let's go. The question I want to start by asking you is, what
Mhm.
inspired you to create this? What motivated your change in yourself to say, you know what, I done it. Now I got to make sure these people get it. What gave you that mindset?
Um, so I guess I'll say it like this: the epiphany moment, which is in the book. So I've always been a sort of money kid, money guy, but when you grow up not even understanding or knowing that you were poor at first until you start to see the different dynamics and degrees of having an income and having money, which is like I had to wait on the first of the month. My living conditions wasn't the great. My living conditions to a lot of people would be embarrassing. Like you couldn't invite people to my house. Um, and after a while, as things tried to get better, um, my I seen my mom struggle, right? So she was struggling paying bills. She's trying to help my sister. And when she struggled or we struggled, who else struggled? Me. And I was like, no, that has to be another way. That has to be uh, more the life versus the check to check. And, I went out there, I tried to get a job, and that didn't work out the best because the job is only doing what? Leaving you just over broke. That's what JOB stands for, just over broke. And I'm like, man, this ain't making me enough money. So of course, and what do we know as a culture? And there's only a few other things that we gonna try. If a job
Sell
ain't making you no money,
drugs, yeah, do something illegal.
you go sell drugs. That's what happened. It's also in the book. I'll be very transparent. I was trying to sell drugs. Wasn't trying to make the Olympic team of that, but I was like, man, I need something. I need to try something. And um, I met this young cat, and I was like 18, going to business school, and he mentioned something called the stock market. Now, when I wasn't successful out there in the streets, I was just holding my head up. I said, well, let me try this. No, let me like really try this in 2020, and I started investing. I learned about like earn your leads. So like I went down a rabbit hole, but I seen it click and work when I took my first trade, and I was like, yo, like this is a possibility. Like it's not just the stuff that you read in books. Once you actually apply it, I can make my money in a day. I mean my check of the day. Like, oh yeah, we need like this is the way. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get the word from Jesus, this is the way. Uh, we could figure this out, Lord, and the community. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, I know through all my trials and tribulations, if I can do it, just with this bit of practice, the rest of my community can do it. So the trade was successful in the shortest version. The trade was successful. I woke up feeling like a rich man for a day, which is one of the keynotes. But woke up feeling like a rich man for a day, and it was my epiphany moment, bro. It was, bro. I'm tipping everybody, tipping my barber, you know. I'm telling everybody, bills paid. I'm like, this is what wealthy people feel like, right? So that goes back into like why I started calling myself a wealth mentor. This is what wealthy people feel like on a day-to-day basis. And I said, okay, this is what I need to be doing. This is what we need to be doing. So if that answers your question.
Oh, most definitely. So then when did you actually, I guess you could say, pen the book? Because Epiphany Moment came 2020. Your book been out since when?
Came out the November 2025. So the book, because to me, this was the moment of, I need to tell not my story, the culture story. So let's wind it back. So the reason I wrote the book is because it's not my biography, it's the culture's biography. It's the things that we need to unlearn so it don't take us 30, 40, 50 years to make a wealth transformation. If we catch it now, all the kids who are freshmen in high school, and
about 25
younger, but especially, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They good. They read this book, they understand, yo, I can change my family's financial story. I can change the corner man doesn't have the ability to flash a wire or a bankroll in front of me and, oh man, I need to go be the dope boy. Because I read this book, I understood that, yo, you start, and After School Matters, you start creating a budget, because to talk about budget in this book, you start saving young, and it don't take a lot of money, Joe. You put 250, 300 into a high yield savings account, into a Roth IRA, into a trade, because I talked about it was a $40 trade that's talked about in this book on Macy's that made me $1,500. But the whole point of this, if you change if you change your mindset and you active with a little bit of money, bro, you don't have to go out here and risk your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me, write the book, and that was the purpose of that. Like, yo, we start this tomorrow. You do this tomorrow, and all of this is to prevent young boys and young girls from choosing the corner, because girls go through it too. They just, corner is a little different.
Their corner might be dealing in flesh instead of product.
Yeah.
So, one, I want to tell you thank you. Thank you for deciding to not just pen your story, but while that may be in there, wanting to give back to young men and women where we don't have to take forever to be able to get some money. You given the cheat code to get there and to build wealth for our culture, for our generations to come. And like you said earlier, a lot faster. Just reading this book, it'll highlight somebody's life where they get to put their friends on. They're not just sitting with millions of dollars, but I get to pass the book off to my homeboy, and we get to build and have study forums around this book to make this thing a blueprint for the next group. I want to congratulate you and thank you for that, because you deserve the flowers now, not later. Appreciate you for penning the book. Now, what is your what would be your greatest chapter out of the book?
Oh man, I feel like that's a trick question, because each chapter got some fire in it. Because the beginning is what we always say, the humble beginnings. That chapter is reflecting the way you can see yourself. That chapter is the honesty chapter of, yo, I was the broke kid, for every kid that is embarrassed to say that they was the poor kid that grew up with that grew up with roaches and unlivable conditions. You know what I'm saying? That had to move place to place. That uh, had to figure out at some point. You know, I have to be my own independent person, man or woman, because my parents are stuck behind the 8 ball of only what they know financially.
That's
So you
it.
can't talk to a lot of people about, you know, um, going to Harvard if they only can see getting a job. Like they only know what they know, and there's no offense to that. You could make some okay money because what was we always said? Well, you got a good job, not strive to be excellent and go into your field and get a degree in your craft.
Good
No, you got
job.
a good job. That's it. So, but if I was to say, if I was to pick one as probably my favorite highlight, it is when I break down what the market is and how that one trade was a light bulb for what I want the rest of my purpose, calling, and future to look like. Uh, yeah, and that's probably like chapter 7 towards the end of the book.
Okay. Because right now you've been doing this for like going into your what 6 year?
Yeah. Doing the financial literacy thing, going into my 6 year, been a self-investor for going on 6 years, and been a trader for 3 years.
And you have seen major success from it. So you being like you being who you are, this is the reason why
Mhm.
you have all the credentials or the credentials to be able to give to young people, help them grow. And like you said, the book is
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
is
man.
a, go ahead.
Not to add to your knowledge. Yeah, man. Been seeing the ups and downs, bro. Um, been seeing great trades, good trades, and bad trades. They call it traders anxiety.
Mm.
Uh, I put my money on the line, and I've also done practice trader. So let me say this: I am a financial advocate, right? I'm a financial leader of sorts. I am not a financial advisor, but what I would I have to legally say that. So, but what I will tell you is, this came through the grind of really having to learn what it means to have financial literacy or financial knowledge, right? So when it goes into entrepreneurship and building your credit and even opening trading accounts, through your business and those things. These things are financial stepping stones that you need at some point, because you're gonna have to, like, when you become wealthy, you're gonna have these versions of stepping stones. Yes, if you want to learn how to trade, that's one thing. But let's say you get $1 million tomorrow, right? And this great trade, right? You're gonna want to buy your home. So
Uh-huh.
you're going to need to learn real estate. You're going to want to and maybe incorporate other things that you've always wanted to be. So that's entrepreneurship. So you're going to need your credit score. So we talk about all those things, like how, man, what is a credit score? What will I need to learn? How do I start getting my credit? How to properly buy a whip, right? Or properly buy a car. Most people, what do? They'll go and say, man, I want that fancy car at the lowest payment. And I'm like, no, that's not how you properly, finance outside of buying a car straight out. It's not how you do it. The best way for you to do it is, okay, I would suggest, this is just my suggestion. And we talk about this in the book as well. If you're going to get your auto loan or, finance the car, it should be no more than 3 to 5 years max. With most
Mhm.
people, you swap out a car every 5 years. Mechanical layovers, wear and tear. So I would rather you finance that car for no more than 5 years, because when you talk about this in the book, you're gonna end anything longer than that, you're gonna end up paying double on the car.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what? How is that? You're gonna pay double on the car because of the interest, and
Yeah.
most banks may not refinance you after that. So then you gotta learn about, well, how do I consolidate it? We talk, so it's levels to this financial thing. What do you mean consolidation? Yeah, I know, right? It's a lot, y'all, but yes.
So this book pretty much is not just about trading, it's about the lifestyle.
Yes. Yeah, man.
It,
We we go through my life and our lives as a culture, learning where we have financial missteps. You know what I'm saying? And you know, hey, what there's an example of my grandfather, right? So I'm talking about when I say this book is we talk about the culture. We have a moment in my book where we go, Granddaddy, why are you going to the track every month? Now I'm young, you know, I'm like 7. I'm not really saying this directly to them, but this lets you know if you start early enough, asking your kids questions, you know, get over that taboo of finances, the way and the trajectory that our kids can go. So man, Granddaddy, why are you going to the track, you know, every month? And I could tell when you win or lose, because when you win, you're happy. When you're mad, everybody in the house is upset because you're mad at everybody. But you're throwing money out. And as just giving an example, if you're throwing 200 to 500 away every month, right? Going to the track, hoping you win. How much money is that in a year? And whose college fund or family trust or can you be funding for real if you wasn't doing that because you keep trying to do what? Hit a big buck like that, like in the lotto versus it's way more strategic ways, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's to the market, to turn that same 500 that's going down the drain.
This is one. It's amazing the fact that you are taking real life stories that somebody can understand to understand how to manage or to be a good steward over their finance. Because that's basically what you was just speaking about. Granddaddy was a bad steward. He was trying to hit.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I understand. Hey, taking a risk. That's like a drug dealer jumping out there. That's taking a risk. But what you're telling them is take less risk, even if it take a little longer. Or dealing with trade, you might get hit, but it's a smarter investment than it is just throwing all your money at the gambling folks.
Yeah.
Uh, it's I appreciate that because we need a lot more management skills in our community. A lot more young men, young women, even older people can read this book and get something and elevate themselves over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we ain't got to go that far. The next year.
Yeah, because we ain't got long, man. We got the wealth gap. As much as we try to do about it, it's still there. And we have to start building our moat as a community and as a culture. Because if we don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. Let's just be honest. It's black. It's February, like for real.
Ain't nobody else coming to save us, as they say. We got to save ourselves. Look, um, I'm pretty sure you got another book in mind
Mhm.
to add on to this. If you could do, I guess you, before I ask, because I always ask for a word of wisdom, but if you could tell a young person, one,
Mhm.
all y'all go buy this book. If you could tell a young person right now, financially, what would you give them?
So this is what I'm gonna tell you, young man and young woman. Um, there's no quick way to wealth, but there's an alternative versus the corner for the wealth that you want to create, for the life that you want to change, for your mom to stop paying bills. And I want you to go and look in books like this to say, oh, I can go start entrepreneurship. Yes, you can. I can go get a trade. Yes, you can. I can become a trader in the stock market. Yes, you can. And here's how you do that. You go get that job, you start at after school matters, you build your credit score, and you put your money to work the right way. Might not be the fastest way, but it's the right way. If you want to learn more about the stock market, hey, you can always come, of course, follow me and others in our community who look like us, just telling you not to go to the corner. Um, yeah, yeah.
Okay, now, before we go, I always ask people to give me a word of wisdom.
Mhm.
That's for anybody who may be starting their book, may have just came out of prison. Somebody on the corner trying to figure it out. If you could give a word
Mhm.
of wisdom, what would that word of wisdom be?
Don't rush your story.
Huh?
If you don't rush your
Oh
story.
no, go ahead. Oh, you said don't
Yeah,
rush
yeah,
your
yeah.
story.
Yeah. So if you starting out writing a book, don't rush your story. There was a moment where, I was like, oh, okay, this is all I need in the book. That's, I got all the pieces. Then I gave it to my editor, and they was like, there's more to this. There's something you're not giving. Like, yeah, I know you want to, publish something that you feel is for the culture, but sit with yourself. And the moment I really sat with myself, boy, I went to type. I was like, oh, I can't believe I forgot about this moment that was so pivotal in my financial choices. This moment that was so transparent in my family's dysfunction, because my mom, if you read in the book, my mom really did win the lottery. But because we did not have, yeah, you got to read the book. My mom really did win a lottery because we did not have enough financial wisdom early and collectively as a family, it went right out the drain.
They always say, and I'm just add this. They always say if if you can if you think one hold on. They said in less than 5 years, most people who win the lottery, especially hugely, go broke. It is all
Mhm.
because they never thought to be rich. It just happened. So they didn't have the mindset of being wealthy. They never had that. It just happened to them. Kind of similar to, I'm assuming, what you was just talking about. Mama
Yes.
hit the lottery. The money came. There's no mindset to be able to guard, and do anything to make this grow. But when you start working on your mindset, if you start thinking and working on being rich, what happens? It comes and you can guard it, you can guide it. It goes into the right avenues because you're worked on yourself enough to now understand it.
Yeah, man, we not paying bills. We exchanging generational assets. See, I just said two different things. We not paying bills. We
We
exchanging
change it.
generational assets. Come on, man.
Look, once again, thank you, man. And like you said, don't rush your story. Don't rush your story. To me, that's powerful. Where can they find your book? Where can they find you? Uh, how can they even get in touch with you so that they can actually grow?
So if you want to book me for workshops and keynotes, go to www.griffinspeaks.com. That is my official website. As far as on social media, almost and pretty much everywhere, it's Marcel Griffin, Marcellus Griffin on LinkedIn. But trust me, I'll come up. If you type in the Wealth Mentor, I will come up. Yeah, I Googled myself not long ago. So yeah, you will find me, Marcel Griffin on Marcel Griffin Speaks, specifically on Instagram, Marcellus Griffin on or Marcel Griffin on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, right? So I host my podcast and my show called Wealthy Sibling, and we go over a few of these things on if you believe and want to become your family's wealthy sibling or wealthy relative. Some things that you need to start thinking about. I just did an episode on your tax refund and how to if you wanted to start tomorrow or before the tax refund come in. Hey, yo, what could I do with this lump sum of money that no one, the way you think, the lump sum of money you get every year, how can that be the start of your wealthy transformation, or your family's wealth transformation versus you going on vacation?
Because most people they're gonna go on vacation, they're gonna buy a car, they're gonna unfortunately they're gonna mismanage this money. When this could be the highlight of your life to change your life. So if you will, go find look, he done gave you all the information where you can find them. Look, I found him.
Oh, this is on
Look,
Amazon. Well, yeah. A trade
huh?
I made is out on Amazon. As far as where they can find the book, so you can email me and get the direct to consumer, or you can buy the book directly from Amazon wherever you are in the world. Literally wherever as long as Amazon can physically get there, you can grab this book while you was in China. 2 days, in 2 days, come to your house in 2 days. Yes, sir. A trade I made on Amazon. Make sure you go grab this.
Look, go grab that book. My name is Carlos Walker. This is Art and Hustle Black Authors Matter. And this is Mr. Marcel Griffin. Blessings.